thank you all for coming. It's a real honor to be here. Second time talking, and let's keep it going. Today, as mentioned, my name is Morsi. I am founder and CEO of DevNull Productions. And today we are going to be talking about community building, how each and every one of you can run your own XRP meetup in your city of origin. So without further ado, in this presentation, we're going to start talking about why we should meet up. You know, we have a lot of digital communication tools available for us, a lot of great solutions to stay interconnected, but meetups also have a lot of value, especially in this day and age. After that, we're going to highlight the New York City XRP meetup, which we help run and so on and so forth in the New York City area. And from there, we're going to segue into logistics, specifically all the specifics that go into running a meetup. Finally, we are going to discuss how each and every one of you can host your own meetup in wherever you're from. So, a little bit about myself. As mentioned, I'm founder and CEO of DevNull Productions. We are developers on top of the XRP ledger. We have been building tools and services for the last several years. We have contributed to the core XRP blockchain itself. We have submitted first amendment from the community was from us. We have built various products on top of the ledger. Specifically, many of you know our latest project, Ledger City, the immersive metaverse being built on top of the ledger. And that's just the beginning of it. You can feel free to visit our website at devnullprod.com to find out a lot more. Before I begin, I would like to extend an opportunity to all of you to participate in a giveaway we are running in honor of the Apex Developer Summit. You can win 50 Ledger City coin, which is able to be used immediately in the metaverse. Simply visit the URL or scan the barcode on the screen. If you don't get a chance, don't worry, the barcode is going to be at the end of the presentation as well. Is that working? Okay.
Disabled for some reason.
I'll look into that. Still take a snapshot and I'll address it later on. Analog in the age of digital. Why do we meet up? Well, digital communication tools are great, right? We have Discord channels, we have forums, we have all sorts of solutions to stay connected all across the world, Europe, Asia, the Americas. But community cohesion necessitates in-person interactions, right? It's not until we're in the same room with each other, feeling each other's energy, shaking each other's hand, that the community bonds are formed. Meetups allow this to happen, right? Meetups allow local communities to regularly synergize efforts and to the great things that come from there. So you can see many meetups result in many benefits to the community and the greater ecosystem as a whole. Through meetups, we foster education. Individuals who are eager to learn about the technology can come and ask their questions to people that are more in the know. Meetups also increase adoption. You know, speaking from firsthand experience, it is hard to get tech support via an online forum, right? Or via Discord channel. You ask your question, you know, so much of language is communicated in, so much of communication is manifested in body language, nonverbal communication, and so on and so forth. It's so much easier to just be in the same room with the developer, ask your question and get a succinct answer, and meetups facilitate this. Along those lines, meetups help facilitate synergy. Let me tell you from firsthand experience, many a great friendship, a great business opportunity has emerged from meetups over the years. 50 million members on meetup.com. It's a great resource to use. Now, at this point, we should note that meetup is both a verb and a noun. So noun refers to the service, meetup.com. Great service, a lot of tools available for you. But at the same time, each and every community is going to have to use what works for them. So, Eventbrite, various other services, you can use those to run your meetup. So, we talked about why we should meet up in general. So why should each and every one of you organize a meetup? Well, it comes down to several different things, right? You're going to be making it happen for your local community. Also, you're going to be representing your community on the global stage. Finally, well, not finally, you're on the ground floor of what's happening. Oftentimes entrepreneurs, developers, they come to these events to kind of pilot their ideas, find out what is, happening, what's been tried and all of that, and you're the first person that they're going to be coming to. Finally, and most importantly, the goal is to build a sustainable, impactful organization that drives the narrative forward. Remember, small acts, when multiplied by many people, can transform the world. Now we're going to talk about New York City, NYC XRP, the largest and most active meetup group in the world. We formed it in 2019 as a way for enthusiasts, developers, and businesses in the greater New York City area to meet and regularly synergize. Events are held 3 to 4 times a year, and they're held in a variety of formats and featuring many notable guests. Here's some of the pictures from some of our events. Well, on the left, you see a banner from one of our meetups. We'll talk about the type of content that you're going to want to create later on in the presentation. On the upper right, you see one of our most well-attended events. That was an XRP panel discussion, which we ran in early 2020, before we had to switch over to a virtual format due to COVID. Luckily, the world has moved. We've come out of that, and we're able to meet in person again. So you see that the meetup group has been growing over time, both in terms of the number of attendees as well as the number of members that have joined the group. And we're going to keep it going. As I mentioned, we formed in 2019. 2020, we switched over to a virtual format. 2021, we returned back to the regular format. In the end of the last year, we had our holiday celebration, the first public demonstration of Ledger City. And we have many more great events planned for the coming months and years. So before we wrap up this section of the slides, I would like to invite all of you to join the New York City Meetup Group, as well as the Meetup Group in your local town of origin. Certainly, it's a great way to show your support as well as stay involved. As mentioned, once you're in the group, you're on the mailing list. You can kind of communicate with other individuals, and it's a great way to stay in the loop. So, what are some specific things that each and every one of you are going to have to consider when you're running your own meetup? One of the most critical things, and the things that you're going to want to establish early on, is your format. Every meetup group is different. Every community is different. Sometimes, some groups are more technical oriented. They are, have a good developer community, and they want to build upon that. Some of them are more, interested in the panels, the economic aspects and ramifications, and those types of events cater to those audiences. Almost every single event, without exception, we have a socializing and networking aspect to it, and this is kind of one of the greatest value adds, right? This is where people can come in an informal setting and meet each other and mingle, talk about what they love and their inspirations. Along with that, you're going to want to think about how you're going to spread your message, right? Q&A sessions are a great way for people who, everyone to benefit from the shared exchange with the questions and answers. Certainly, you're going to, perhaps a hackathon or a feature presentation is in order. One of the key aspects of this stage is that you're going to want to facilitate collaboration and synergy. You're going to want to get people engaged. You'll notice that over time, if you're able to do so, your efforts are magnified exponentially. Okay, so we get to perhaps one of the most important slides: location, location, location. Right? You're trying to form an image. You're trying to create a new initiative. Do you want to meet in a dingy dive bar, with loud music and so on and so forth? It's probably not a good idea. Location inspires atmosphere, it inspires mood. It's really where people come to get inspired by your meetup group. So you're going to want to take some time to scout a good venue. On that note, the last bullet, I can't count how many times we went to a venue and they said, take it or leave it. Well, thank you, but we're going to go to the place next door. Make sure that you find a venue operator that works with you. Of course, be professional and courteous about it. But you're going to want to find someone that works with you, that is willing to address the needs of your group. And there's a lot of options. Certainly in a city like New York City, we're very blessed in that manner. But no matter where you are, I guarantee you'll be able to find something that works for you. On the final note on this slide, we highly advise the catering and the beverage packages, because this is, it just makes things a lot easier, right? The caterer delivers, you work it out with the caterer, they'll deliver it to your door. But on this front, make sure you iron out all the details with them, right? It's particularly serving utensils, plates, cups, all of that. It's really on you, the meetup organizer, to make sure that your event is a success. So on that note, close your eyes and try to picture what the attendee is going to be experiencing, right? From the moment they walk in the door to the moment they leave the venue. When they walk in, who's there to greet them? You're going to want someone to greet them with a smile, welcome them to the venue, keep out the riffraff. That's equally important. If the actual room that they're hosting your event in is not right in front of is not apparent where it is, signs. It's a no-brainer, but it needs to be taken care of. Where will they socialize and network? The area that you need to dedicate to that is different than the area for the presentations, right? It's when they come in and they're socializing, they're going to want a lot of space and they're going to want breathing room. You don't want people cramped and on top of each other. But on the flip side, during the presentation portion, you're going to want to have seating for, well, it depends on your group, but maybe 50%, is a good rule to go with. Some people are comfortable standing and so on and so forth. What's the presentation setup? The projectors, the AV, if you're live streaming it, the Wi-Fi, you're going to want to make sure you iron out all these details ahead of time. Swag, this is how people take the meetup home. Who wouldn't want a pair of XRP socks? This is a really critical part of a meetup, and a little bit of dedication, resources dedicated to that go a long way. Finally, the after party, right? The energy is great. People are having a great time. You have to leave the venue. Why stop there? You're going to want to scout out a location nearby. The critical aspect of this is it has to be nearby, right? No one's going to go across town in order to, go to your after party. So finding a local bar or a local establishment that suits your needs, depending on when you run your meetup, we typically run it during the middle of the week after work. So, bars love people walking in off the street during that time. So there's all sorts of little rules and kind of tips that you pick up over time as you organize your meetup and as you do a little bit of trial and error. Every community is different. The 3 weeks rule is something that works for us. As soon as you get closer to the event, to the day of the event, people's schedules kind of tend to get more rigid. So yes, you can announce it 2 weeks in advance, but your turnout might be a little bit lower. Of course, you can announce it earlier than that, but there's an overhead to promotion and, kind of keeping the word out there. We'll talk about promotion on the next slide, but as soon as you announce it, you're going to want to keep the momentum going. You're going to want to be regularly posting to social media, keeping on top of the, promotion and outreach front, and that is a little bit of overhead, so 3 weeks is a good general rule to use. Remember, the more work, the more effort you invest at a time, the greater your return will be. So, as far as promotion, overuse social media, you are competing with a lot of voices out there. You are competing with a lot of different events, different groups that are vying for people's attention. It's your job to keep your meetup on people's minds, and social media is a way to do that if used effectively. Word of mouth, good old-fashioned texting goes a long way. Spreading it around your network through personal invitations, your friends, your family. These things, even if these individuals are not, into crypto or into XRP themselves, well, they might know people that are, or, things grow organically and virally from there. And influencer promotions, right? We all kind of know a lot of people that are, have the Twitter followers, the YouTube subscriptions and all of that. Well, these individuals are typically looking for content, and meetups are, they'll be happy to plug you a 5 minutes plug on their channel. So now, specifically, oh wow, the time flew by. Specifically, hosting your own meetup. Start small. That's the key. Really, at the beginning, forming good energy, momentum, just keeping people excited and so on and so forth, that's the key. Meeting at a local establishment, reach out to your friends on Twitter and social media and meet up at a local place, just generate ideas, just keep on throwing them out there. Don't reject anything, just make sure the energy is good and positive. Once you do that, you can start dividing responsibility, divide and conquer, right? Specific efforts, can be assigned to certain people. Perhaps an individual is better at the tech talks. Perhaps an individual is better at, graphics and creating that sort of content. You're going to want to assign those responsibilities to those individuals. And then it's scaling. Really, every group is different, and every initiative is different. So it's really figuring out what works for you and running with it. This isn't easy, right? We are developing a next generation initiative, and we are facing significant resistance in every sector. But remember that by relying on our core strengths and competencies and executing in a consistent, sustainable way, we will prevail and drive the narrative forward. So in New York City, we're going to keep on keeping on. We're going to continue hosting events, demonstrating the state of the art. We're going to continue fostering the discussion and expanding our presence on the international stage in crypto, fintech, and beyond. And all in all, be courageous. Stand up for what you believe in. Remember that when you're in your rocking chair at the end of the day, at the end of your days, talking to your grandchildren, make sure you have a damn good story to tell them. That's a wrap. I'd like to invite all of you to come to the next XRP meetup, both in New York City as well as in your hometown of origin, as well as form a meetup in your hometown of origin. I would love to attend that one. Once again, this is the QR code. I will fix it after this talk. You can contact me at my email address, mo@devnolprod.com. If you have any questions about meetups, about XRP, Ledger City, happy to wrap. Thanks a lot, everyone.